You make the last payment on a Tuesday, 11:42 in the morning. You type in the amount, you hit submit, your finger hovers over the button for a second longer than it needs to. You press it anyway. The screen says $0 owed. You wait for something to happen. Nothing happens. No confetti falls. No song plays. The office around you sounds the same as it did 30 seconds ago. The same hum of the air vent. The same click of someone's keyboard 2 desks over. Just a number, sitting there, quiet as a locked door. You close the app, you go back to your desk. A coworker named Emily asks if you want coffee. You say yes. You don't tell her. You don't tell anyone. The debt that followed you for 6 years just disappeared into a server somewhere, and the world kept moving like it was never there at all. To understand why nobody clapped, you have to go back to the beginning. Back to a number you used to check with your eyes half closed, hoping it had shrunk while you slept, $500. The first debt, it fits in your pocket like a stone you carry without thinking about it. You put gas on the car because payday is 4 days out. You tell yourself it's temporary. You believe it. Every purchase becomes a question now. Do you need this? Or do you just want it? The card says yes, either way. You start rounding down in your head. A $6 coffee becomes $5 if you skip the lid. You feel guilty buying a sandwich that isn't on sale. A friend asks if you want to split a pizza on Friday. You say you already ate. You didn't. $500 doesn't feel like debt yet. It feels like a habit you haven't noticed forming. $5,000. The one bedroom of dread. The minimum payment shows up first, small and polite, like it isn't trying to hurt you. You pay it. The balance barely moves. You do the math one night and understand something for the first time. The interest is winning. You are running in place while the number climbs the stairs without you. You stop opening the mail. You let it sit on the counter in a pile you don't look at. Your partner picks up an envelope one evening and asks what it is. You say it's nothing. You say it's just a bill. You are lying, but only a little. You are tired. You are also scared. And you don't have a word for that yet that doesn't sound dramatic. That night, you lie awake doing math in the dark. The kind of math that never lands on a number that lets you sleep. A week later, a number you don't recognize calls twice in one afternoon. You let it go to voicemail both times. You listen to the message in the parking lot before work, engine off, hands on the wheel, a voice reading a script that isn't so different from the one you've started reading to yourself. $25,000, the house of cards. Student loans, a medical bill you didn't see coming. A car repair you put on the last card with room. You start doing math you never learned in school. Which bill is loudest this week? Which one can wait another month without calling? You lie to a friend about why you can't make the trip to the coast. You tell your mother everything is fine when she calls on Sunday. You are getting good at this, too good. You notice your shoulders live somewhere near your ears now. You notice you stop sleeping through the night. The debt isn't just numbers anymore. It's living in your body, quiet and constant, like a second heartbeat you never asked for. You catch yourself doing math at red lights, in the shower, in the middle of conversations with people who have no idea where your mind just went. Your friend Marcus asks if you want to go in on concert tickets. You say maybe, knowing already it's a no, hating that you have to perform the maybe just to keep the conversation easy. 2 years pass. The weight doesn't go away, it changes shape. $75,000. The Mansion of Numbness. Something strange happens here. You stop feeling it the way you used to. The number is too big to be scared of every day, so your mind does something merciful and cruel at once. It goes quiet. You still pay. You still worry, somewhere underneath. But the sharp edge dulls into a hum you barely notice, the way you stop hearing a refrigerator after enough time in the same kitchen. A coworker tells you that you seem calmer about money lately. You laugh and say something about getting older. At a friend's birthday dinner, someone asks the table what everyone's 5-year plan looks like. You give an answer that sounds confident and means nothing. Nobody notices the pause before you spoke. You are not calmer. You are just further away from yourself than you used to be. And the distance has started to feel like peace because it's easier than feeling the weight directly. $250,000. The strange, quiet. At this level, the debt stops being a feeling at all. It becomes a fact, like your address, like your birthday. You know the number. You don't flinch at it anymore. This is the part nobody warns you about. Not the fear, the distance. You built a wall to survive the fear. and the wall worked so well you forgot there was ever a person standing on the other side of it, waiting to be let back in. Then, slowly, the wall starts coming down. Not all at once, one payment at a time. One extra $50 here, one skipped vacation there. One night you sit at the kitchen table and add an extra $200 without telling anyone, just to see the number move a little faster. You don't notice the progress while you're inside it. Progress never announces itself. It just quietly rearranges the furniture while you're busy surviving the week, one paycheck folding into the next. And then it's zero. The day it happens, you expect to feel something enormous. 6 years of rounding down coffee, 6 years of unopened mail, 6 years of a second heartbeat in your chest, and it ends on a Tuesday at 11:42 in the morning with a number on a screen that just says nothing owed. You wait for the wave. It doesn't come. Your phone buzzes once on the walk back to your desk, a number you don't recognize. Your hand tightens on it out of habit before you remember. There's nothing left to protect anymore. It's a wrong number. You almost laugh. You wait for someone to notice the way you carry yourself differently now. Nobody does. Emily still asks about coffee. Your mother still asks when you're visiting. Your partner asks what's for dinner, the same as any other Tuesday. The world has no idea what just happened inside you, because the world was never watching the debt in the first place. It was only ever watching you, and you had already learned to look fine on the outside years ago, long before the number ever hit zero. You go home that night, the drive quieter than usual, the radio off without deciding to turn it off. You sit at your kitchen table, the same table where you once did math in the dark. You don't call anyone. You don't post anything. You just sit there in a silence that used to sound like dread and now sounds like something else entirely. Not joy exactly, something quieter than joy. Something that feels like finally exhaling a breath you held for 6 years without realizing you were holding it at all. This is the part nobody tells you about paying off debt. The finish line doesn't come with a crowd. It doesn't come with a banner or a message from your bank congratulating you on 6 years of carrying something alone. It comes with an empty room and a version of you who is still learning how to stand up straight without the weight you got used to carrying every day for years. You catch yourself weeks later, still rounding down a coffee out of habit, still flinching slightly when the phone rings from a number you don't know. Old weight leaves a shape behind, even after it's gone. Nobody claps, because nobody knew how heavy it was. You knew that has to be enough. And somewhere tonight, someone else is opening an app, checking a number they're afraid to look at, carrying a version of that same weight, alone, the way you did, the way almost everyone does. In a silence, the whole world mistakes for nothing happening at all.